Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to take a look at a little neck knife. Now this is made by CRKT, and it's called the Folts Minimalist. And you haven't seen a lot of neck knives on my channel because generally I'm just not that big of a fan of them. Generally they're just a little bit too thick, a little bit too heavy. Just all around they're not comfortable to carry, and they don't really conceal well under a shirt. And so I don't use a lot of them. Now this one is really how you should do a neck knife. It's very small, it's very compact. Total, it has a 2-inch blade, 5-inch overall length, and this little sheath and the knife together only weighs 1.6 ounces. So it really truly is a knife that you can just wear around your neck. It doesn't bother you, it doesn't bug you, you can forget about it, and it's there when you need it. So whether you're looking for just a good little everyday carry knife, a rather robust, little fixed blade everyday carry knife, or if you're just looking for a good knife to take with you hunting, camping, hiking, things like that, I think this makes a really great option. So let's take a look at that blade, and then we'll touch on the sheath a little bit later. Now the blade, this one just happens to be a Wharncliffe blade shape, so it's just a completely straight edge. Now they also make several other blade shapes. What I would recommend is either go with this Wharncliffe or the little small like micro Bowie blade shape. The Bowie knife is a very classic blade shape. It's very nice. It's going to give you a little bit more belly for slicing. This one, what I like about the Wharncliffe style is just that it's super easy to sharpen. It's just a completely straight edge, and I'm a terrible knife sharpener, and so I need all the help I can get, which it's kind of funny being a knife reviewer and not really being able to sharpen a knife that well, but it's how I am, so I'll take all the help I can get. So I like that Wharncliffe style. Now, generally in Wharncliffes, you have a very weak tip that's really not going to wear all that well. When we look at this one, it is, fine, like most Wharncliffes, but it's not overly delicate, which I really like. Some of them take it over the top. So I think this one's going to wear pretty well for you, and it's going to have a pretty decent life. So, you do have a hollow ground blade right there, I believe. Maybe it's flat ground. I think it's flat ground. So you have a flat ground blade from kind of a mid portion up. Comes down, you have a very nice final bevel on there, nice and large. So again, easy to sharpen. And the steel that they use on here is a 5CR 15 MOV. And 5CR 15 MOV is a Chinese steel. It's, what I would term lower grade, but still serviceable. It'll still get the job done. So it's going to be a little bit softer. Rockwell on this thing is going to be from 55 to 57. So it's very easy to sharpen. It'll hold an edge long enough. And as far as corrosion goes on it, there's no chronic issues that I can really tell. In use, I never really had it rust on me. Now, if you really neglected it, I'm sure you could get it to rust, but no major issues. So there's just a look at it. Again, it is a 2-inch long blade. So for any jurisdictions where maybe you're limited on your blade length, you'll most likely be able to carry this. Now as we look at the spine of the blade, they actually put some very nice jimping on there. It really does give you a good grip, and overall this is actually a knife that gives you a very good grip. You notice there's these finger grooves into the handle, and that's actually very, very comfortable. Now generally I don't love finger grooves because they're not really something that fits everybody. I have kind of medium to small size hands, and these feel great to me. If you have really big hands, this knife's probably just going to seem small all around. Now, as we look at those handle scales a little bit more, you have very nice little green micarta handle scales on there. And so it's basically like, a very nice polymer, I guess is one way to look at it. And so they're very pretty, they're very attractive. They don't give you a ton of traction, but again, you get most of your traction just from the geometry of it. So I'm a big fan of it. Now, it comes with this very cool little lanyard thing on it. And so that's not something I added, it just comes with it. And again, if you had big hands and you were extending off the back of the handle, that kind of gives you a little something to wrap the rest of your hand around. So for me, when I'm holding it, my pinky wraps around that, and it gives it a nice feel. So overall, I do like this little blade. Now as we look at the sheath, it's, I don't know if it's a Kydex, it is a polymer material. It's very nice and extremely lightweight. The knife pops in there just perfectly. There's a really nice amount of retention on there so that it pops in, it's not going to fall out. You can carry it around your neck and not worry about it coming out, but you can just push off with your thumb right on there. That pops out very, very nicely, very smoothly. Now as far as the fit in there, there is just a tad bit of wiggle. You know, I mean, if you're super anal about that, that may bug you. It's not really that big of a deal. And when you're using it, when you're carrying it, it's not something that really makes much of a difference. So, looking a little bit closer, you do have, you know, 6 eyelets on there. If you didn't want to carry it around your neck like this, you could, you know, lash it to something. And, you know, aside from utility, if you wanted to use this almost as like a last-ditch knife, or, you know, a little bit more of a defensive situation, you could actually lash this in someplace. It'd be very small, very lightweight. You could get a very positive grip on it. Now, it is a small blade, but you could pull it out and do some damage with this if you really wanted to. This is small enough. You could actually, you know, lash this to like a belt, a backpack strap, lots of different places. So it's a very nice, very versatile little sheath. And it's going to be completely ambidextrous, obviously, because it's a fixed blade. So you don't have to worry about any locking mechanism or anything like that. It really is very simple. I like it a lot. So I was looking around trying to find some good competitive options for it. And honestly, I'm not really finding much out there. The price on this, it's going right around between $20 and $25, which I think is really well worth the money. I think it's a good deal. Especially for, you know, a Kydex, like a Kydex type sheath. Overall, I mean, it's just well worth the money. So I'm not finding a lot of competitive options that can really compete with this, especially in this price range. So I'll just pull out some other, you know, popular knives, so at least you can kind of get an idea of the size. One very popular neck knife out there is the Essie Azula. So this knife even I feel is a little bit big to wear on the neck. It's just a little bit bigger and heavier. Give you a comparison to that. So as you can tell, the Azula is definitely, you know, kind of a size bigger. You can see just the difference in the sheaths. I'll throw out the just some folding knives that you may carry. Spyderco Delica, that's an old standby. So it is a little bit smaller blade than the Delica. It's also lighter than the Delica, though. The good old Benchmade Mini Griptilian. And Kershaw Cryo. So there you go. If you have any questions at all about this little Folts Minimalist by CRKT, feel free to leave that down in the comments below. I'd be happy to talk with you about this. If you like what you saw in the video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the little like button and subscribe to the channel. I definitely have more videos coming. Everyone have a nice day, and thanks for watching.